So one of the most common questions I get asked doing all this running is, how do you save your knees? Aren't your knees affected by all these miles?
I'm Esther Smith with Grassroots Physical Therapy, and we're here with Joe Grant, BD Runner Guy. And we're gonna look at some tips related to saving our knees in mountain terrain. And we wanted to start by having a little Q&A with Joe to find out how he's been running for 15 years, long distances, and pretty much running injury-free.
Yeah, so I've been running in the mountains for about 15 years, and I've been fortunate to not have any overuse injuries. So I'll have the occasional acute injury, rolled ankle, but for the most part, I've been lucky to not, have any injuries. So running downhill is really just a controlled accident, and so the idea is to try and run as fluidly as possible, accompanying the grade rather than resisting it. And so if you accompany the downhill in your movement, that will cause less pressure and less impact to the body, certainly to the knees, but also to the entire chain. So running's a sequence of micro falls, and today we're going to learn specifically about how to fall correctly in this downhill motion. The two main things that I focus on when running downhill are posture and cadence. Those are the main, I think, elements to being as fluid as you can be working with a grade. So first, posture. I'll start, before getting on the step, I'll just start standing here. One of the common mistakes is to lean from the hips, and so this isn't really getting us anywhere in terms of propelling us forward when we're running. If we lean from our ankles, we're using gravity to help move us forward. So obviously on a downhill, gravity is to our advantage. We want to utilize that as much as possible to not have to overstress the body. As an example, when you're on a step, you're about to fall, sort of doing these micro repetitive falls as you would do running. First, I'm going to demonstrate incorrect technique. So if you're leaning with your legs stretched out in front of you and you're landing with all your force like this on your heel with your legs stretched out in front of you, it's causing a lot of pressure on the whole chain, knees, ankles, everything. Whereas if you're simply jumping down, controlling your fall, and landing in a more stable position right above where your hips are above the ball of your foot, it's a much stronger position for the leg to be in, and so it will cause a lot less pressure in the overall system.
Makes sense.
And to accompany that, depending on how then steep the grade is, to stay in this optimal position, you're going to have to accelerate the cadence and move your feet quicker and quicker to kind of match the grade that you're running down. So on a flat surface, it would simply look like, leaning forward and starting to move your feet. That's basically just running. But as the terrain gets steeper, maybe if I'm running down a 2% railroad grade, I'll be able to sort of, run a little bit more casually like this. But as soon as the terrain starts to steepen, then the feet are going to start to move a lot quicker to be able to absorb the terrain.
Okay. And what are a couple things you do before you start a run, just to remind your brain and body? Yeah,
so the two posture pieces are standing here, leaning from with my hips above the ball of my feet, and I lean from my ankles. So that's just a nice way to kind of set the mind to the correct posture and how to move. And the other thing is, the movement is a bit like doing jump rope. Perfect. So that's where you'll get the cadence from. So you're basically just matching these two pieces of correct posture and then moving the feet as fast as they need to be so that they can stay underneath the center of mass.
That's great. And we'll take what we learned from you and detail out a few exercises in a couple other videos that look at hip strengthening and also form, balance, and proprioception.
Awesome.
Cool.